If you're new to working out in the gym, in this video, I'm gonna show you how to build out a full-blown workout routine based on 12 weeks to be able to drop body fat and build lean muscle. Now, in this video, I'm gonna be sharing, the workout splits that you need to use based on your work schedule, how many reps to do, how many sets to do, how much rest time you need to have, along with costly mistakes you need to avoid in order to be able to get the results you want. With that said, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. Let's get to the action. All right, champ, so with that said, we're gonna start off with your work schedule, which also means your workout split, because we all have responsibilities. I get it, we have family, we have our careers that are pulling us in different directions, but at the same time, we can't make that an excuse not to work out and take care of ourselves. And so with that said, the most efficient, the sweet spot that I found for people being able to transform their body without spending hours in the gym, without spending days in the gym, 6-7 days a week. If that's not your thing, there's nothing wrong with spending that much time in the gym, but you don't have to. I've helped a lot of people drop a significant amount of weight. I'm talking 30, 40, 50 plus pounds without ever having to work out that length of time. The sweet spot is 3 to 4 days a week. And so that's the workout splits that I'm gonna give you based on a 3 to 4 day workout split, okay? And so if you're that person that works out 4 days a week, like me, that's literally all I work out, guys. Like, unless I'm just, I'm just going through a week where I need to work out more, just to kind of get things off my mind, then outside of that, I'm doing 4 days a week. And so I do the upper lower body workout split, which means Mondays and Thursdays, I'm gonna do upper body. I'm gonna work my chest muscles, I'm gonna work my back muscles. And so these are exercises like chest presses, chest flies, push-ups, rows, pull-ups. These are exercises that work our back muscles. And along with that, something that a lot of trainers don't talk about, and something that a lot of people who join my coaching program didn't realize beforehand, is when we work our chest muscles, when we're doing things like chest press, we're not just working our chest. We're working the front of our shoulders and we're working our triceps too. And so a lot of times people think they have to do these isolation movements to be able to hit, your biceps or your triceps. But when you're focusing on doing chest muscles, you can actually, when you're doing chest exercises, you can still work your triceps as well as your chest when you're doing things like chest presses, push-ups, incline chest press, decline chest press, things like that. Along with, when you're doing back exercises, you're still working your biceps when you do rows. You're still working your biceps when we do pull-ups. And so that way, we're killing two birds with one stone, baby. All right, and so we're doing upper body on Mondays and Thursdays, and then we're gonna do lower body on Tuesdays and Fridays. Now, basically, you just wanna make sure that you get your upper body in twice a week and your lower body twice a week. Now, if you can't do Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, you just wanna figure out what days are gonna work the best for you, but still get, upper body in twice, lower body in twice. Now, if you're gonna do a 3-day workout split, I'd recommend you doing a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, where you could do full body all 3 days. You're doing your chest, you're doing your back muscles, you're doing your legs. And along with that, you're hitting some shoulders in there too. You're hitting some abs. It's total body. And then if you're gonna follow the 3-day workout split, I suggest you do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and you do full body all 3 days. And that's you doing chest exercises. That's you doing back exercises, shoulders. You're hitting your legs, the front of your legs, which is your quads, as well as your hamstrings. You're hitting those calf muscles too. And so these are the major key muscle groups that you want to hit on a weekly basis, whether you're doing upper lower body splits or if you're doing a full body split. And then the other workout split that you can use with a 3-day workout split is upper body once a week, lower body once a week, and full body once a week. And so just doing that, you'll be able to get really good results. And then as you notice that your body, you're able to recover a lot faster, you can progress to doing the full body all 3 days. If that's your goal, to be able to do full body all 3 days. And personally, I've done both. I've done the 3-day workout split whenever my week is just super slammed with work and things to do. And I'm able to still, see really good results. And just know, guys, a lot of trainers will tell you that you need to train 6-7 days a week or 5 days a week. Man, it's nothing wrong with doing that. More isn't bad. But if you're training effectively and you're making it count when you hit the gym, all you really need is 3 to 4 days a week to get the job done. Number 2, how many reps do you need to do based on the exercise that you're doing? So what I tell guys is this: when you're just starting out, when you're a beginner, we want to prioritize good form. We want to prioritize muscle consciousness, which means, some guys call this mind-muscle connection, but it's basically just you being able to pay attention on how to engage the muscles that you're working, okay? And so with that said, a lot of times you can't lift super heavy when you're starting out because 1, you don't have that level of muscle consciousness. 2, you might not have the form all the way down pat just yet. And so instead of lifting super heavy, we're not gonna do, the 5, 6, 7, or 8 reps. We're gonna do 10 to 15 reps starting out. 10 to 15 reps because we wanna get that form down pat. We wanna get that muscle consciousness down pat. And we also wanna condition our muscles before we start lifting heavy weight. It's kind of like, the athletes who they have to get ready for a big event, like let's say they're running track and they have to get ready for a big event. They have to prepare leading up to that event. They have to be conditioned to sprint full speed like your boy Usain Bolt out here, running less than 10-second speed in a 100-meter dash. Like, he can't just get out there and run that without preparation and conditioning. And so with that said, we want to condition our muscles. So if you're a complete beginner, you need to be doing 10 to 15 reps for the first 2 to 3 months. Now, if you're somewhat seasoned with how to lift, but you're just not sure like how to, progress things, like using progressive overload, but you have some fundamentals, you maybe played sports when you were in high school or played football or something like that, then you can start with the 8, 10, or 12 reps. You can lift a little bit heavier if you have that confidence. But that's another thing, guys. That's why I say 10 to 15 reps starting out, because not only do you want to have the form, the muscle consciousness, but it's also just confidence. Confidence that you're not going to injure yourself, and that takes time. And so let's say I start out with doing 8 reps on 185 pounds. And I know I can't do any more than 8 reps. As I get stronger, I find myself being able to do 10 or maybe even 12 reps. Then that's when you want to use progressive overload. That's when you want to, dial back the reps again, but up the weight. And so instead of me doing 185 pounds, I may bump it up to, 205 or maybe 215, just depending on what I can do, and then I start back at 8 reps again. As I get stronger doing that amount of weight, then I'll bump it up. I find myself doing more reps. I'm able to do 10 reps or 12 reps with that amount of weight. Then I can increase the weight again and drop the reps again. That's what we call progressive overload, guys. As you get stronger, you want to continue to challenge yourself with either heavier weight or more reps. It just depends on, your goal. Number 3, how much rest time should you have between each set? So I tell guys, when you're focusing on fat loss, you don't really need a ton of rest time. You don't need 45 to 60 seconds between each set. Now, if you're prioritizing strength and building a lot of muscle, then for sure you can, bump it up to 45 seconds rest or 60 seconds rest, or maybe even 90 seconds rest in between each set. But when you're just starting out and you still got to focus on the principles of fat loss and building muscle, like you got to exhaust your muscles when you're lifting weights. And so I focus on doing 35 seconds rest in the beginning because we want to condition those muscles. We want to fatigue those muscles, right? And so with that said, you may not even need that much rest time because you might not be as confident challenging your muscles to lift super heavy. And so with that said, you just use 35-second breaks, and you may find that you can't lift as much weight, but that's fine because we're focusing on fat loss. We're not focusing on building a ton of strength. Now, as you progress and you get strong, you get more confident, then yeah, you can start adding on a little bit more rest time. And so that way you can focus on building strength while you're dropping body fat. But even if you're doing, 35 seconds rest, you're still gonna build some strength in the beginning. But just know you don't have to be like a power lifter in the gym if you're trying to drop body fat. If you're sitting in the gym resting for 2 to 3 minutes in between each set, dude, you're trying to get shredded, you're trying to get lean. I know at least I am. I want to look good, I want to look cut. And so we don't need that much time in between each set before we go and do the exercise again. We only need a good 35 seconds to a minute. Number 4, knowing if you're pushing yourself hard enough. So what I use is the RPE rule. That means your rate of perceived exertion. That simply means how hard do I believe I'm pushing myself? And so whenever you're doing any exercise, when you're doing strength training, and even when you're doing cardio, you just want to ask yourself, on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being this is extremely challenging for me, and a 1 being, you know, I can do this all damn day, then you want to be in that sweet spot around like 7, 8, or 9. You don't want to push yourself to the max, you know, and find yourself, you know, being so exhausted when you leave the gym that you can't even function when you go back to work. You know, we're not trying to be pro athletes or nothing like that. Now, athletes, they're pushing themselves to the max. They're trying to break into new levels. But we don't have to do that if we're just trying to, you know, look good, drop some body fat, and build some muscle. And in reality, we actually want to leave a little bit in the tank. And so a lot of people think when they leave the gym that they need to be just zapped. They need to be maxed out when they leave the gym. That's not the way you actually want to feel when you leave the gym. Instead, you want to still have a little bit left in the tank. You want to feel like you've gotten a pump. You want to feel your muscles, you know, tight and fatigued, but not to the point where you got to sit in the car for an hour and a half, 2 hours, because you just can't function. Lastly, make sure that you're tracking your progress. So I tell a lot of guys is there's 2 ways you can do it. You can either track your weight every single day, which some people need that. They like to be really involved with their progress on a week-to-week basis. Or what you can do is you can track it 1 time a week on a Friday morning or a Saturday morning. And you want to do this consistently. Get you a journal, get a bullet journal or something like that, and so that you can track what your progress is on a week-to-week basis. And take photos as well. Take a front photo, take a side photo, take a back photo. Because what you're going to notice is some weeks you may drop body fat, you may drop weight on the scale, but then other weeks your clothes may fit differently. And so that shows you that you're going through somewhat like a recomp, and you're not just dropping weight, which is progress. Progress is progress. And then if you want to take it to the next level, you can get a journal and start tracking how much weight you're using on a week-to-week basis to show if you're getting strength gains. You know, how many sets are you doing? How fast are you able to go when you're doing cardio? You know, how much time were you able to do at a certain intensity? And so these are things you can track and pay attention to. And so that way you're not just looking at the scale, looking at the weight on the scale as a way of like measuring your progress, because there's so many other ways to measure progress. Your sleep patterns, your energy level, how much body fat you're dropping, how your clothes fit. All these ways are different ways of being able to track progress. And so that way you can make small adjustments to your workout plan based on the type of progress that you're making. All right, champs, if you found the video helpful, be sure to like the video, comment below any questions or anything that you might want to add to it, and we can start a conversation down there if you want me to share more clarity on something. And then lastly, be sure to subscribe to the channel and so you don't miss any future videos. All right, we out. Let's get to the action.